Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tara and this is The Planting Bug. And in today's video, we are going to talk all about my braided money tree. Look how gorgeous this is. So I have owned this since last summer. So I got it in June. So I've had it about 8 months. It is now February and it is doing really good. It's probably doubled in size. It was in a very, very small container and the whole entire tree started to lean really bad. So about a week ago, I replanted it or repotted it into this pot right here. And I just think it is gonna do much better. I did have some yellowing leaves every once in a while. I think it's pretty common for these plants just to get yellowing leaves once in a while. I just cut them off and move on. But as you can see, it's gotten some new growth. It's gotten pretty high. And then if you look really closely, I have like new little baby leaves on here. So anyway, it is doing great. I love it. I actually just ordered this off of Amazon and it was in great condition and I am really happy with this plant. So let's go ahead and get into all the care tips and what I have learned about this plant so far. So let's go ahead and start with the lighting of this plant. So you want this to be in a room that is well lit. You can get medium to bright indirect sunlight and this plant will be really happy. Let me show you where I keep this plant. Okay, so as you can see, I've got this plant here on this plant stand, and this is in a room that has a big west-facing window. So as you can see, all my plants here get a lot of bright indirect sunlight all day long, and so that is where I keep this plant. This plant requires or likes deep but infrequent watering. This is not a plant that you have to constantly check. You can skip watering it every once in a while and let it dry out. But when you do water it, you wanna make sure you give it a really deep, thorough watering. You wanna make sure that it fills up the saucer, drains out of the holes. You never want this plant to sit in water because that will cause root rot. So you go ahead and water it really well. You make sure all the water is drained out of the bottom. You empty the saucer out, make sure there's no water sitting down here at the bottom of the saucer, and then it should be good. Also in the winter months, you do not need to water this one as much as you do in the spring and summer months. And as far as humidity goes on this plant, it does not require a ton of humidity like a calathea would, but it does like it a little bit. So I just mist this plant every once in a while. I mist the roots here on it and as well as the leaves. Once in a while, I'll make sure a humidifier sits by it, but I don't go crazy and over humidify this one at all. I just mist it every once in a while and it seems to be really happy. So as far as temperature goes on this plant, honestly, it can just be raised in your home. I live in Utah, so of course I would never want to raise this, grow this outside because we have really harsh winter months here and our summers do get hot, but this is just a plant that will do really well indoors, just inside, you know, the temperature of your home, and it does great in that environment. And when it comes to fertilizing this plant, you do want to fertilize it, but you don't need to do it as frequent as you do other plants. I just usually fertilize this once a month in the spring and summer months, especially when I see it producing new growth. That is the best time to give it fertilizer. Make sure your soil is damp before you apply the fertilizer. And in the winter months, you do not need to fertilize it as much, but that is what I do with giving this plant some food. Just once a month is good enough for it. Okay, and reasons why this plant could get yellowing leaves. There's a few reasons why. One of them just means that maybe you're giving it a little bit too much water. You really want to make sure, like I said, when watering it, that you're not allowing water to sit down here at the bottom and have the roots sit in water, because that will cause wet feet. It'll cause root rot. It is really bad for it. So you really want to, like I said, water this deep, infrequently. Not every single week does it need to be watered. And you know, it's kind of a plant that likes to be forgot about once in a while. So I think it's just really important to make sure that you're not overwatering it and that water is not sitting down here at the bottom, because that is what can cause yellowing leaves. If that is happening, just adjust how many times you're watering it, cut off those yellow leaves, and like I said, make sure there's no water sitting down here in the saucer. So this plant can get pests. It can get spider mites, mealybugs, those type of things. And what I try to give people advice in doing is, like I said, number one, if you overwater this plant and the soil is soggy and damp and it's sitting in a lot of water down at the bottom, that is going to introduce fungus. Fungus is going to introduce bugs. And so the best way to keep pests away from your plants is to not overwater it, not let it sit in soggy soil, and not let the roots sit in water. I know I've said that a lot, but it's really important. Another thing that is really important with plants, and it helps protect from any bug infestation, is you want to dust off your plants. I do this probably twice a month, where you just take a microfiber cloth. You can spray the plant down first if you want, or you can spray the plant with water with a little bit of neem oil in there, and you can spray the microfiber cloth and just dust off these leaves, because when they accumulate dust, that can also introduce pests. So those are my two #1 tips for keeping bugs and pests off your plants. So I just love this plant. I love the braiding that has happened here in the root system. I just love it, the new growth. I love how tall it is getting. I have not learned how to properly propagate this yet. I'm gonna look into that. I wanna look into that with all my houseplants. I love propagating. Of course, I've been successful in propagating my monsteras, my snake plants, my Chinese money plants. Those are really easy, but other plants are a little bit more difficult. So I don't know yet if this is a easy plant to propagate or not, but I'll definitely investigate that. And once I start propagating more of my plants, I will bring that to my channel and share that with you guys. But I just love this plant. I love all the little leaves. I love how it grows tall. It's just a cool looking plant. Like I said, it is a real easy plant to care for. I got it off of Amazon. It came in perfect condition, and it has just been really fun to watch this plant grow. And like I said, if you see any yellowing leaves, just cut those off and pay attention to how much you're watering it. You could be overwatering it, possibly underwatering it too, but just find that sweet spot. I usually only water this once a week. Every once in a while, I will skip waterings, and it likes to be ignored once in a while. But yeah, that is all my care tips with this plant. It's definitely a great plant for beginners that are a little bit worried about fussy plants like the calatheas. This is a great one to get if you're a new plant mom. It's not super scary to own. So this is one I would highly recommend getting. I love it. And I hope this video was helpful and helped you out. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below. And if you are not subscribed yet to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe and become part of my plant family. So go ahead, hit that red subscribe button down below, turn on the notification bell so you're notified each and every time I upload, and say hi to me down in the comments if you are new. I love to get to know my new subscribers. All right, guys, I hope you have a great week ahead, and I will be back soon with some more plant care. I mentioned in my past video that I will be doing a plant home tour. So I'm going to show you all of my plant collection, every plant that I own. I think I've got over 60 now, but I'm not sure. I haven't counted in a while. That will be coming up next. All right, guys, I will let you go. Have a great week ahead. Bye.